Hi, everybody. Welcome to November. Can't believe we're already getting close to holiday season, but time flies when we're having fun, right? So I'm going to dive right into our topics for this month. I got a lot of stuff to cover, and so we'll just kind of drill through it as usual. We have it all text based in the newsletter document itself, and we try to chapter mark it for you as well so you can hop around as you see fit. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and enjoying the time that we have. All right, so first things first, I want to talk about the PD training that's available for everybody. You're given time this November on Tuesday, Election Day, to do cybersecurity trainings. There was an email sent out by Douglas Russell, and it is also in the curriculum menu. But if you go to our knowledge base, you will see a professional development category for cybersecurity. If you click on that, you will see the cybersecurity professional development, which gives you all the details that you need to know, including what is the email to look for, how to find it, that personalized link that you have, and then what training is available for November 8th, and the modules that you can partake of from there. Okay, so use this as a good reference point should you need it. The main topic that I wanted to cover next is actually about a few different apps that we have available to us as staff members in here. So naturally, we're a Google environment, so we have a lot of the Google Workspace and all the cloud apps that come with that. But there are also other paid license apps that we have available to us as staff members too. So some of them you might be familiar with and are already using, but some of them might be new to you. So I just want to list a couple here just to get going for this month, and we'll talk about some other Google things as well. So first and foremost, if you're not already using Remind as a platform, we definitely encourage you strongly to use that. It is available to all staff members as a great way to communicate with our parents and our students in our community. We have a knowledge base article about the Remind platform, and it is also a system that you can log into just via ClassLink. So you go ClassLink to Remind and get in there. It's a great way to communicate with everybody. It syncs information. And I think the best part about Remind is that the recipient, the parents, can choose how they want to communicate. So they can sign up for text alerts if they want. They can do email only, or they can do an app, and they can get notifications that way. So that's great. And they can also get many messages translated as they need to. But then even for you as a staff member, as you communicate, you're in one platform and you send it out once and it goes to all those different platforms or methods of communication based on their preference, which is awesome. It also allows you to connect your phone to it, and so it can mask your phone number as you send voice communication out. So if you need to communicate via voice message to any individual or send an announcement out that way, you can do that just by connecting your account or your voice to your account, and you can have at it from there. There's a nice guide that Remind has to get you going. And just remember, it is a private connection. So even if you're using your personal phone number, if you so desire to do that to attach to your Remind account, that number does not go out to families at all. It is just part of your account in Remind, so that they can funnel that communication and mask your number that way. So yes, use Remind if you haven't already. It's a great resource that we have. The next resource that I want you all to be familiar with, if you aren't already, is Screencastify. It's what I use actually right now to record this video. It is a screencasting plugin that's built into Chrome. I have this little icon for it right up in the top, Screencastify. If you don't see the icon available to you right away, just go to your little puzzle piece right here and you will see Screencastify available to you there. It's super easy to use. You just hit the button, hit record, and you're going at it, which is awesome, where we can just quickly record a video to communicate something out, to give instruction. As you can see, we can do both the webcam and your screen at the same time, which is awesome. But the other thing I'd want to throw out there as an option for you is that you can actually have students take advantage of this because we have the paid version in our district of Screencastify. It gives us this tool that they call Screencastify Submit, where you can actually create an assignment assignment in Google Classroom for students to submit a video back to you. That can be a great way to either flip the classroom or do an interactive assignment where your students, if they're struggling with reading or explaining concept, maybe they'd be more comfortable creating a quick little video to show you how that will work. And the Screencastify is a great way to do that. As with most of our apps, if you just look for their help, Screencastify teachers, they have a whole section here that is dedicated for teachers. They even have some certification courses that you can go through and partake in a brief class that kind of teaches you how to record in the platform. You can even edit videos in the platform. And they give you a lot of different ways to use this. There's even assessment tools where you can create a video and force people to watch it and answer questions along the way. So a lot of great features that this Screencastify has, and it's available to all of us just from that little puzzle piece in your Chrome down to Screencastify. The next thing I'd want to mention as a resource that we have is related to Google Slides. Many of us use Google Slides all the time to present material, set up do nows, outline a lesson, all of the things. But we also have an add-on to Google Slides called Pear Deck. Probably have seen it up in the corner as you're working in slides, or maybe it pops up every now and then saying, hey, this is something you can use. And what Pear Deck does is it adds interactive features to your slides. Allows you to build some interactive content, multimedia types of things. A great way to engage your students or your peers in some collaborative work. And really, just to get started, you just click any Google slide, you click on this Pear Deck menu. And then as you do that, if you haven't done it yet, it might ask you to sign in. So just choose your behavioral email to get going. And then you have a lot of these different things that you can just add to your slide, different widgets. But then also from the triple lines up here, you can just get a quick video on how Pear Deck works. But then they have templates built in for so many different things where they have pre-built slides for all the different content areas that you might want to work with. Beginning of the lessons, during some end of lessons, some different subject areas and content. So just browse this, see what you could take advantage of. They have a lot of things in here, so you don't even have to really create content. It's there for you. Just bring it into your presentation and start playing with it today. They also, as you might expect, have a great help resource as well, should you get stuck or want some more getting started type of info. And then the fourth thing I want to share that is an app that is available to us, at least for this year, in limited licenses, is an app called Padlet. The free version, public version, is blocked because of some student safety concerns. But we, in our behavioral environment, have something they call Padlet Backpack that has been paid for a limited number of licenses for this year. And what Padlet is, it's an online social media / slideshow / multimedia poster board environment where you create a Padlet and you can have students either comment on each other's creations, create a multimedia poster board, and a lot of different examples on how you can use it, whether you copy some existing stuff in here or you just go from scratch and create your own. There's a lot of interesting ways that you can use this to create some extra engagement and some extra lesson planning in here. In the link I created a link in our newsletter that allows you to claim a license. As I mentioned, there's some limited number of teacher licenses available. So if you're one of those that likes to explore some of this or have used it in the past but want to try it again, be sure you click that link to join in. As a teacher, you can sign in with your Google account and you're ready to go. For students, the Google account option does not work because of their privacy concerns at the moment, but you can manually invite students with just a single link, and there's instructions on how to do that in our main newsletter as well. And then they can set up their own accounts and you're good to go. So explore Padlet if you're so inclined. And again, limited number of licenses, so grab them while they're available. But hopefully this is a resource you can take advantage of as well. Okay, so next, let's talk about some Google Drive organization. Everybody's favorite topic of file management, right? One of the things I wanted to talk about today that I think we find in our world that not a lot of people know about or perhaps know how to use it is this priority area in your Google Drive space. What we do know is that My Drive is all your own personal stuff as you keep things organized. Shared drives are things that you are community spaces that you collaborate with your building or your department. And then they're not owned by an individual, but they're available to the whole department to collaborate with. We know that Shared with Me are things that come from other people and that you don't own, but that you have been given access to. And all of these areas can contain a ton of files these days, especially over the years. If you've been here for a few, there's just tons of files that get flown around everywhere. And unless you have a really specific organizational strategy and you're really good at memorizing, okay, this is in My Drive, this is in the shared drives, this is starred, this is shared with me, it can be very difficult to try to find what you're looking for sometimes. And that's where Google gives us this priority view here, where they give us some suggested things of, hey, these are things that you might want to know about. But more importantly, they have this concept of workspaces. And what workspaces are, it's just a little temporary folder that you can gather things from different areas of your Google Drive area, your workspace, and have them pulled into one space. So you don't need to remember where things are. They don't need to get buried in the starred section there. You don't have to memorize the path to everything. You can just go to priority. You can create a workspace, give it a helpful name, to do this week, maybe, something as general as that. And then once you have this workspace, you get started by adding files. They let you get up to 25 of them in here. And then as you pick your files in there, then they're just available in this list and they're ready to go. And you have them right here. I use it for Google Sites, a handful of Google Sites that I have to maintain rather than digging in all the folders that I need to go. I have a workspace for all the different sites so I can grab those and edit those as I see fit. When I have a specific project that might be shared with a bunch of people with different things in different places, I'll put all those in one spot. If I'm reviewing some internal documentation for our team, I throw all of that stuff in there too. So those are my reasons for using it. I think you guys can probably come up with some great examples of how and why you would use this as well. So create some workspaces, gather files from all the different places you have just to have a clean single list. Remove them when you're done. You have your triple dots to hide it or remove it when you're all set, but then use them as you see fit. Okay, and then finally, I just want to preview a couple new features that Google has announced that have trickled out to many users now or will be coming soon, if you haven't seen them quite yet. The first is that they have announced and put out a feature for transcription in a Google Meet. So basically all it is in your activities, that little triple shape icon when you're in a Google Meet. If you're the host, you can click on that, you can start a transcription, and it'll literally do that. It'll transcribe into English the audio that it hears, and it automatically puts it in a Google Doc for you. So you have that transcription as a nice little record. And then you can take that if you need to translate it in another source in Google Translate or pass it along to a translator. You can certainly do that at this point. But it's a nice little feature that's built into Google Meet. Just simply hit the start transcription and it puts it all in a Google Doc for us. The next thing that they added recently is this concept of multi-send emails. Sometimes we're sending emails to a whole group of people and we want to personalize it a little bit. And the concepts of mail merge we might have used in other environments with other software, but it's a little complicated or maybe even not available in some of the ways we use the stuff nowadays. And so in Gmail now, they have a button at the bottom that you can click on that does multi-send email. And all you have to do when you're composing a message is to click on it. And then in the content of your message, you can just hit the @ symbol, and it gives you the available tags that you can insert. So their first and last name, email, full name, just as a quick way to personalize the message. This is just kind of an intro new feature. I'm sure they'll add more types of things to this. Hopefully someday they'll actually have full mail merge in here like we might expect. But for now, this can be a great way if you're sending a whole bunch of communication out to still have it be a personalized message. So instead of saying, hey, everybody, it can say, hey, first name, and give a little bit more personalization from there. All right, so I blitzed through a bunch of stuff really quickly. Hopefully, this information is helpful. Take advantage of those different apps if you haven't already to play around with some new features and new things that are available to you. Definitely check out the Google Workspaces is a great way to organize, and keep an eye out for those new Google features if you haven't seen them yet. They're pretty cool. We always like to see what new things that we can add to our workflows. So enjoy the month of November, enjoy the holidays as they get started, and we'll see you next month. Bye.